We'll have none of that fucking bullshit counting down, thank you. Hello, good evening, and welcome, everyone. Fucking hell, James. This is Basabi. It's had me thinking about what my intro could be all the while. Normally, I'll just say, yes, YouTube, which I'm going to do. Yes, YouTube. Hope you're all well. It's Saturday night, 9 o'clock, live from lockdown. Last one ever. I promise you, this is the last one ever. I'm not doing the big fucking old Chicago Bulls thing like I did last time. And you might all be fucking disappointed with this one, to be fair. You've probably all been disappointed with the last four, really, because the ones I did during the summer, without blowing my own trumpet, they were fucking good. And I'm not saying the last ones haven't been good, because I appreciate all the guests and everything, but I didn't want it to be the same. I wanted it to be slightly different, because when you try and repeat something that you've done so good, it might come look in, a shit sequel. I didn't want it to be a shit sequel. So that's why I've only done one a week, because I can commit to putting in the effort and I could get the guys to do it. And I appreciate everyone who's come on. I've had a blast. In fact, I've had more fun doing this second lot of runs and having a few beers and laughing with my mates, more than one, than the first one, because the first ones became not like a job, because I enjoyed doing them all, but there was a little bit more stressful. Anyway, one thing is sure tonight, I am fucking having a skinful, because 3 out of the last 4 fucking Saturdays I've had to work, including today. Not drinking alcohol at 8 o'clock though this morning. We got, look at this, retro Hooper's Hooch glass. And some hooch. This was my missus actually for her birthday, and it's been in the fridge for ages, and I said, can I have it? So we're going to start off with some fucking hooch. So I hope you're all drinking. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all enjoying YouTube. We've got 19 people watching. That's fucking 19 people with fuck all to do on a Saturday. I got this new stand. I'm doing my last ever live stream, and I bought this fucking stand for my laptop that I can put my phone on and plug USBs in and fucking cans of beer on and stuff. I'll tell you what, I forget how fucking good Hooch was. Who remembers Two Dogs as well? Hooch and Two Dogs were the ones I remember from back in the day. That is nice. I might be buying more of that. Sunday morning for James Basabi James. So, you may have noticed by the title, it's called Riding Solo, because I thought I would hand this one last live stream over to you lot as, I hate saying viewers, as the people in the chat. So it's handed over to you. This is my 41st stream, and this one I'm going to be at your mercy, because I'm going to open myself up to you lot to ask me questions, ask anything about the streams, about my channel, about me personally. I will probably fucking reject certain questions that you ask, because some of you are twisted and sick fuckers. But it's just me giving some of myself back to you, which obviously I've done on each individual stream. Like, when I'm talking to people, I'll jump in and say, oh, fucking Mad Dog 2020. I'm going to break your heart, James. It doesn't stand for Mad Dog. And I thought all these years it didn't. I only found out earlier this year that it doesn't stand for Mad Dog. And in fact, I've got a story about Mad Dog 2020 that's not Mad Dog 2020, it's just 2020. Remember when I mentioned, if you've watched one of my Pickles videos, I talk about Mr. Patel's Corner Shop and how I used to buy alcohol from there when I was fucking too young. Well, anyway, I know 2020 is kind of back out now and fashionable, but there was that lull in the 2000s where it fucking disappeared. Well, Mr. Patel had a bottle. Now, little bit known to me, I used to go in there, buy a few cans. This was when I was old enough to drink before I go out. And I saw fucking hidden away on the shelf this bottle of 2020. So I bought it. It was meant to be lime flavour or something. But little did I know until I'd meet up with my mates, swinging it, walking down to the local, because where I live, the bars are literally like a mile from my house where I used to go. So I'm swigging this 2020, give my mate some. And they goes, you are aware this is about 4 years out of date, ain't you? And I just replied by saying, well, I didn't think it tasted like lime, to be fair. So that's just a story. It's not Mad Dog 2020. I was going to look it up. The Dalek West Ham United fan. Oh, by the way, I've fucking come away from the West Bromwich Albion Sheffield United game to do this stream for you. I've watched the first half. I need you lot to keep me updated with the scores because we are winning currently at the moment, which is a fucking rarest of rare occasion for the Albion. Jimmy Retro, good evening. I am gonna try and keep up with comments because, as I say, I'm in the mercy of you lot tonight. If you want to ask anything, you know, I might go for the first hour on my own and then put it open mic, have people come on for like 10 minutes like I did in the previous last stream. I'll just I'm fucking winging it. I'm winging it. I was going to do some pickups, but this is an exclusive here. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you, but I'm going to. But Big Game Al, the piss artist formerly known as Planet Retro, I'm on his next live pickups thing. So I've got a few there and I've got a few more coming. The only pickups I'm going to feature, and he's in the chat now, and I meant to do it last week, and I fucking feel really like such a wanker for not doing it. Sean the fucker, Horatio Van Basten, sent me a message on Discord saying, just so you don't feel weird that a parcel turns up to your house saying to Dainster, it's from me, I've sent you a few bits, and it was for my birthday. There was 4 bags of Skittles, mini Skittles, ate them, they're fucking gone. But he also sent me 3 items, which, Sean, I can't thank you enough, man. You sent me something when I was doing the last streams, and you said this was for my birthday and for my efforts with the streams again. I don't do this stuff to get free shit. My name's not the Gebs or any of them other channels that do shit like that. I'm Dainster. I just fucking do this stuff because I like hearing the sound of my own fucking voice. So anyway, without further ado, to quote Big Mike, who's probably asleep at the moment, the 3 items that Sean sent me kindly was Japanese Street Fighter Zero, which is now the second Japanese Saturn game from the last one that Sean sent me, which was Space Harrier. I don't know how he knew I liked this film, but I do really like this film. It's the original RoboCop. It's on Blu-ray. 90th MGM anniversary. Newly remastered director's cut. Now, if you've not heard, I've shouted them out enough time. The VHS bootleggers do some great streams. Mark Mr. T, also known as Burnt Out Culture, he always mentions about different edits of films that used to get put on the TV. Now, RoboCop is one that I remember because I'm pretty sure fucking whenever I watched it on the telly as a kid, I never fucking saw them blow Murphy's arm off. But when I fucking got to watch Dad's fucking VHS version of it, I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Because that was cut out of the TV version. But yeah, RoboCop. Anything after RoboCop, this film, other than the games, there's some fucking good games, is shit. RoboCop 2, shit. RoboCop 3, shit. That thing with Michael Keaton in, utter dog shit. This is fucking brilliant. And this one, it must have been because we were talking about this in VHS bootleggers. And Sean said he got these items knocking around. He didn't want them anymore. Basket case 1 and 2. Now, there is talk of me going on VHS bootleggers at some time. Now, I wouldn't call it my speciality. It's something that's kind of been enforced on me from childhood. Because my old man, bless him, when we was kids, he used to fucking go to like all the cheapo shops, you know, and there was baskets full of VHSs, fucking 50p pound. Like this is when VHS was still popular. It was the shittest of the shit films, like shit cartoons, fucking shit American wrestling with fucking, oh man, what was the name of some of the fucking, like they were quite good wrestlers, but like they were on this shit federation. I'm sure Dick Murdoch was one of them. But fuck me, he used to buy me all them. But Dad also used to buy himself the shittest of the shit films. So like B movies is kind of my thing. Like even old school stuff. Like I remember Dad having Zombie Flesh Eaters. I'm trying to think like he had like all like the coming of age films. Like there was a series called Lemon Popsicle series, which was basically the only way I can describe it is an Israeli version or Iranian. Was it Iranian version of American Pie? But it was done in the 70s. But Dad had all that sort of shit, and that was like my dad's VHS collection. If he'd have kept it now, and he has still got a large proportion of it up in the spare room, which I'm going to be going through, it would be impressive as my fucking games collection is. He had fucking tons and tons of VHSs. He had like original The Warriors, Westworld. He had some good stuff, but he also had the shittest of the shit. Like I think he was just picking up and going, it's 50p, that'll do. So Sean got me anyway, basket case 1 and 2. So, you know, that's some top quality watching for me and the missus. So again, Sean, Horatio Van Basten, thank you very much. That's massively appreciated. And that's the only pickup I'm going to feature here. That'll be the show. Yeah, we'll talk, like, as you know, Pedro, Pete, Old School Variety Face, OSVF. I've been watching recently because Mrs. has got Amazon Prime, and they've got something like there was Cannibal Holocaust. I watched Cannibal Ferox, I think it's pronounced. Bad Taste. I watched a few of the to be watched fucking B movies, B horror movies, gore shit like that. That's right up my street. Not really video gaming. I mean, if you come here to talk video games, you'll probably get on saying a bit. Talking of video games, the other fucking live feature, I hope he's here. Going, I'm drinking out the can and I've fucking poured it in a glass. Fucking levels of professionalism here. Anyway, you're all fucking doing this thing, ain't you? Like spelling your names with video games. Well, as you can see, yeah. 4 letters. We're going to spell out my name live with video games. I don't know if I was meant to pick certain games I like, but I have kind of done that, and I've tried to pick one from each system. So, first off, we've got C. Castles of Illusion. So, Mass System, Castle of Illusion. Spelling out my name, C. Castles of Illusion. U, which is Urban Strike on the Mega Drive. It's actually not bad condition. So, CU. Can we see where this is going yet? One of my all-time favourites. NBA Jam puts up a brick. Just having a look. Oh, it's Pippin and Grant in it. One for the chocolate. I was on about this the other day. Where is it? Around there. When games used to have the pictures of the arcade cabs on the back, we was on about Buggy Boy. So we've got CUN. And this is my last game because I'm a massive fan of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because it was in the UK. Ninjas was offensive on the NES. So there we go. That spells out my name there. So you've got CUNT. I'll let you spell it out yourself. Oh, fuck off. They won't balance it. I've been there all fucking day. All this for one fucking gag. I bet fucking Angry Video Game now doesn't have this shit. Talking of, right, what's fuck? So who we got in the chat? Let's have a quick look. Xbox 360 collector in the fucking bin. Gernaldino's here. You could see where that was going. Look, everyone else has been boring. I'm just going to spell out rude words. I might spell cock out on my next one. LFC Gamer Keith. Gamer World. Now, right, I'm going to fucking throw it out there. Is that you guys with your fucking millionth name on YouTube? Half Hour Gamers are here. I'm expecting that's just as. My mate, Cy Owen, I hope you fucking given this video a thumb down, you bastard, after all the whinging you do on Facebook about thumbs down. Oh, you missed the word. Actually, I was going to put I am first and then CUNT. But big is good enough. So that's like the main stuff I planned. So now we've got another fucking hour and 45 minutes of me fucking about and drinking. So Game World Gez, fucking PS4 Gamer Gez 69 is now Gamer World. Are you sticking with that name? I want to know. Andy Sneakery, Steve, yeah, I've not sorted out them trainers yet. I'm going to message that fuck tomorrow because I've been at work all day. But I've shown Steve some trains on. Oh, right. We've got the first fucking actual interesting question on. Oh, there's a story behind this. My auntie works at Tesco's, right? Fucker's been at work all through lockdown. Decides to be ill like fucking 10 days before fucking the PS5 link. And that was my only hope of getting a PS5. And I didn't want one. I wasn't bothered. But the fact is, and I want to say this without sounding a cunt because I know, fuck me, there's my name. But I know there's a lot of people who've been furloughed, been out of work and that. I've done all right since the second lockdown, and without sounding big-headed, I've accumulated a lot of money because I've not been able to go out on the piss. Losing my second job, I actually think, has done me a favour because I'm not spending petrol, not buying so many takeaways on the way home. I actually work it out. My second job, I probably used to break on even with everything extra I used to do, like paying for fuel to get there, usually buying food to eat there because I never used to plan anything unlike my main job. So I'd got expendable income and I'd got the money to buy a PS5. I wouldn't get an Xbox because I'm a PlayStation fanboy, down since day one. Case catalogue, PS1, we all know the story back in the day. But I couldn't get hold of one. My brother's got one because my brother pre-ordered. My auntie had been able to get me 10% off. So, long story short, I've not got one. I can wait. I'm not paying fucking grand for one. Fuck off. I don't even want to pay full price one. I want discount. So no, I've not got one. If I am going to get one, I'm going to get a PS5. I am a little bit disappointed because I spent fucking 200 quid on this fucking £600 monitor. But I don't think it does 120 hertz, which the PS5 might do. So I might need to upgrade my monitor. But yeah, I've not got one. I will get one in the future. But there is other stuff I'm looking to might put my money into as well because I've been inspired, and we'll get onto that later. It was by one of my guests who was on last week. He's inspired me to be doing more things once we come out of lockdown, let's say, and we'll talk about that later. So to answer that question, Dylan, no, I've not got one. Yes. First question I asked way back. Sorry. Look, mate, I'm doing this solo. I'm not like these fuckers who've got people writing scripts, fucking people doing PR work. I'm fucking flying by the wings of my ass here. Just type it again, chicken. I'll answer it in a minute because I'm losing the will to live to fucking scroll. So Lee's asked me a question. Who was the first YouTube channel you found, and who was the first? Right, who was? See, this is a bit of a cheat, so I won't count him because my good friend Ant Harper, the Retro Games Collector, got a web page, everything, runs Retro Gear. I sent a link out yesterday. He got me into YouTube. So in theory, he was one of the first channels I watched. And he's one of the first channels I spoke to. So to throw out from there, that would be my first channel. But if you mean as when I first became a YouTuber, oh God, I even hate that. I hate calling myself a YouTuber. I'm just a fucking bloke who sits in front of a camera and talks utter shit. Right. And fucking either you lot are twisted and find me entertaining, or I am entertaining, and don't fucking tell me I'm entertaining because I'm a big-headed enough cunt anyway. So the first channels I found is I reached out a bit, so I put in UK Gaming Studios, and of course Tutti UK is one of them. And all I left is I watched a few videos, and I wanted to get the feel of the people before I started commenting. And I watched Stu, and he seemed like, you know, a normal bloke. And I just said, look, I've just done a video. Would you mind watching it and giving me your opinion? Like, because I could ask Ant, and Ant would tell me it was brilliant anyway, because he's my mate and he wanted to encourage me to do it. But I just wanted some people who I didn't know to watch it. So from that, the first channel I probably watched was 2UK. I did used to watch some of the bigger channels. I'm not a massive fan of Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't find him funny. I don't find many people fucking funny, but I don't find him funny. I used to like Pat the Nez Punk. He's Flea Market Madness. Obviously, I never message them guys because it's a waste of my fucking wrist typing a message to them because they're not going to reply. So I used to watch some of the bigger tubers. I still watch Metal Jesus Rocks, not for his fucking content, because lo and behold, the fucker's pretty good when if you buy a new system and you want to find some good games playing it, he's a go-to place, if you know what I mean. So there's that. First tuber I met, that's a tight one. It's at the same event. It's the first Doncaster market I ever did, and it's either Tutti UK or it's Gus Newton, because I spoke to both of them. I didn't want to be weird and say, oh, I've just started doing a channel, blah, blah, blah. But that day was one of the days I captured some of my first footage. So they were probably the first two I spoke to. Since then, I've spoke to that many. I never assume that people watch my channel. I assume if you do watch my channel, you recognise me because how many other handsome, bearded, ponytailed people are on YouTube? You know, so yeah, to answer that question, it's fucking boring as everyone else is. It's Stu and it is Gus Newton, you know, and they're two people who I've got a mass amount of time to. So what I'm going to do is scroll back up to where I get to Lee's question, then I'm going to go down. We're waiting for the... Okay, so I am thinking of getting a bike. It might not be a mountain bike. I don't think I want to be doing what Russ is doing. Russ has got a very expensive bike. But I did mention to Russ, because I think Russ thought I was going to take the piss out of his channel and take the piss out of me, and I'm not. I genuinely do like those sort of channels. But my best mates, I've mentioned, has moved to Worcester, which is what? I don't know. It's probably 20, 25 miles away. But where I live, there's a canal over the back, and that canal actually rides all the way from my house up through Stourbridge, and I mean Russ Retro Bears watching, he probably knows, and it forks off and you can go to either Stourport or Worcester. So me and my mate had already said what we're going to do in the summer is bike the canal lines and, you know, stop off at the little villages and have a few beers. Now watching Russ last week, I thought, you know what, I ought to do it because I used to bike all... I didn't learn to drive till I was about 20 because I used to bike it to work all the while. It's only because I come off my bike. I'll tell you the story. I come off my fucking bike, right? I used to have, I think it was called a Rally Inferno. And it was one of them with the brake cable that comes down like that. And you got the loop like that. And it's just cable. So I was biking to work. The downward cable snapped, the one that comes down. So the one that goes like that went rigid, rammed in my tyres, fucking threw me over my handlebars, still like holding on. Basically, I was lucky I didn't fucking break both my wrists. So I had to push my bike to work. But when it threw me off the handlebars, one, it hurt. And where it threw me off, there was what was known as Telewest, which is cable TV, Virgin now. But it used to be Telewest, West Midlands. Their offices was there where it fucking threw me off. And I was kicking fuck out of my bike, like stamping on it because it just fucking threw me off. A guy I used to go to school with then later texted me saying, were you just kicking fuck out of a bike outside our offices? And I was like, yeah, that was me. So anyway, long story short, I pushed my bike to work, fucking went to work at the leisure centre, sat all night with my hand in some ice, did fuck all, might as well have not fucking gone into work. And it was that day I decided, you know what, I need to learn to drive. So long story short, yeah, I'm thinking of getting a push bike. But that's just part of what I want to get into because I think this whole year of locking me down and keeping me in Dudley has pissed me off, and I want to see a bit more of fucking England and the country. And the one thing, I'll mention this to Russ, I'm into like fucking urban exploring and like wild camping. I watch that sort of shit on YouTube all the while, other than gaming stuff. Like my watch lists to view, so you can watch people who do van life, wild camping, urban exploring, that sort of shit, getting out and doing stuff. And I just fancy having a go at it. And I've even mentioned to the missus lad, because I think wild camping is something you shouldn't do alone. It's where you camp out somewhere that's not a campsite. And it probably could be a bit risky even for a big fucker like me. So that might be something that I'll look to do for myself next year's that I might be doing. Just getting out a bit more. And I think it's going to be an outcome of this year keeping me in. I always said when I was fucking younger, if I ever start appreciating scenery, fucking tell me I've got old, because I used to never appreciate it. And, you know, I watch Russ, places he goes on, and I think, you know what, that's quite cool, and I want to see more of England. So, yeah, that might be something that I do next year. Fingers crossed we have as good a summer as when I was sat home. So, anyway, that's a long, boring answer to that question. Anything you regret? Oh, fuck me, Bear, where can we start? Let me stop fucking about with that. Anything you regret selling now that you wish you had? Well, a long, long time ago, when I first started YouTube, I did a video of 5 items that I'd like to have in my collection. And 2 of those were items that had long since gone from when I was a kid. I've mentioned it before. As a kid, I was really spoiled. Like, I had massive boxes of toys, figures, video games were everywhere. Because I was the youngest, because my brother was working, he used to buy me, like, stuff. My auntie used to spoil me. My dad was working 7 days a week. You know, I was always spoiled at Christmas. I used to regularly get an action figure every week on a Friday, stuff like that. But 2 items that I sold, I actually got back, and I'll get them down and they're the fucking most simplest of simple items, to be fair. Oh, that fucking thing's gonna fall. Hang on. This isn't planned. This is fucking out the window. They're 2 LCD games. I mean, this is like a simple Mario Brothers game. I bought this from Sore Thumbs at the Indoor Revival. I had that, and even my dad played this. My dad, my brother, and we've always been so competitive about who could get the high scores. And this one, I used to be quality at this. So I regretted selling those. But I made it my goal to get them back. And I didn't just dive on buying one off eBay. I wanted to find one in the condition for the price I wanted to pay. So yeah, I regretted. I mean, I didn't even sell them because my parents sold them and they had the money because they bought me originally. I'd had the years play of them. They got rid of them. But anything else, I mean, there's 2 wrestling figures up there. I sold all my wrestling figures. Do I regret it? Probably not, but I'm glad I didn't sell the 2 that my aunt got me. Them 2 are mine from probably like my 9th or my 10th birthday, and I've still got them. So they're still in the collection. So yeah, I regret selling them, but I've got them back now. So they'd probably be, and they're the most. I'll tell you what I do regret. I regret lending my mate fucking Dwayne my fucking Master System with about fucking, it got to have been 50 games. And this was only about 10 years ago. I lent him this because I'd still got it. My man got rid of it. It was in box. And he moved in with his bird. And I fucking gave him that to play on. Lo and behold, they fucking fell out. So I messaged him. Can I have my Master System back then? Oh, such and such has got it. So I messaged her. She goes, oh no, Dwayne's got it. So either way, them falling fucking out cost me a Master System of about 50 games and it pissed me off. So I didn't sell that either. I gave him that. What was the game that got you into gaming and what keeps you gaming and collecting to this day? Okay, so that goes back to the Amstrad CPC 464. That was my first ever game experience, and that was my own. It used to be set up. I mean, mom and dad still live it. Well, I say mom's passed away now. Dad still lives in the house that I grew up in. And there's pictures somewhere when we had the Amstrad set up in the front room, like by where Dad's armchair is. And the game that got me into gaming was Roland on the Ropes. And it probably gets bashed, but as a kid, I'd like to know how old I was when I want to go through the old family photos and find out how old I was when I had that Amstrad, because I put hours and hours into playing Roland on the Ropes. Oh Mummy was another one. You know, that's why I've got up there a sealed fucking starter pack for the Amstrad Antarctica, me, because the Amstrad and the, like, you could get games from the boot sales real cheap as well. Dad used to get me them all the while. I had a ridiculous amount. Again, I wish I still had my Amstrad collection just to go through now, because there was games that were probably a bit too mature for me and I didn't get into them that I would get into now, sort of thing. And what's kept me, I've always been a gamer. You know, I've always had this next system that come out, like I went Amstrad to Master System. Master System, I had a Super Nintendo, then got a Mega Drive because my brother had already got the Mega Drive. So we used to try and get the rival systems, if that makes sense. So we got the best of both worlds. Then after the SNES, we both went PlayStation, then PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, up until PlayStation 4. Obviously, I never had a Dreamcast. I did have a Dreamcast a bit later. I bought it off my mate Gammon, who was always skint when we first started work, and I wasn't. So I used to buy his shit off him. He was called Gammon, by the way, not because he was a Tory voter, because he once had a limp for like 2 weeks. So we said he got a gammy leg, and that was it. His name was fucking Gammon forever. So like, I've always been into gaming, carried on. PS2 brought a whole new experience to me of online gaming. Gaming to me has always been competitive between me and my brother. I mean, my brother's 13 years older than me now, and he's got a PS5. He still games every day. Every day my brother games, and I play with him sometimes online. And it was always a competitive thing in our household. Like, you know, my brother used to tell me I couldn't play Sonic 2 until I'd completed Sonic 1. That was like, you know, the level in our house. And then when we got PS2, we both used to play FIFA online. We used to play a game called SOCOM online, Battlefield. We still play online to this day with someone who we played with on the PS2, Toka Touring Cars Online, which I mentioned to Sabi James, that like I used to play that. We still play to this day. 13 years later, we're still gaming with the same guy online that we played with first time in 2007 on Toka Touring Cars. So it's kind of a social thing. I like, some people don't like competitive gaming online. I love it, especially the team games, because when we used to play SOCOM, it was a team game. When we used to play Toka Touring Cars, if my brother overtook me, I'd fucking wait for him to come round and take him back out again. So that, I don't know, gaming's always been... Collecting is something that's always been... As a kid, my mum used... You know, like when you used to have them books that were like 99p for the first issue and like 3.99 thereafter, and everyone just had the 99p version. I didn't. I used to complete them. There was How My Body Works, dinosaurs. I remember building this fucking dinosaur with a glow-in-the-dark body. Ancestral Trails, that was another one. Fucking Rocks of the Earth, that's still in Dad's loft. Rocks of the fucking Earth. You know, and that was as much my mom, because my mom was a big collector, and she pushed it onto me. Like, you know, you don't just have one thing, you have the set. Now, luckily, I'm not as bad as her. Otherwise, I'd be going for every full set going, like, fucking hell. But, you know, there's a lot worse thing I could be playing my money into. This is always going to generate money, you know. And I don't know. I just like having stuff. You know, I like being in this room. I like being around everything. And, you know, I work hard for it. It's not breaking the balance of the house. So I don't miss rent payments. I don't miss nothing like that. No car payments. Everything's kept up. And I just like having shit, really. I'd be the same with figures if I had the space. So I hope that's answered your question, Phoebe Chicken. I am sorry if I'm missing any. I'm going to try and scroll back, but I can see the chat's quite active. So I'm just going to miss anything. Do you have a game that you regret spending so much money on? I didn't spend a fucking lot on it, but I regret buying it. It's that fucking one that Lee got me to buy. Dino Dini's Kickoff Forever or whatever it was on the PS4. That was shit. That was shit. I remember as a kid spending a lot of money on the Power Rangers game on the SNES, but I don't regret that because it was a fucking good game. I enjoyed that. The one where it's like a platformer and then you have like the versus fighter with the Megazord and like the bad guy at the end. That was but I reckon that was about 60, 70 pounds. That was back in the 90s. You know, video games weren't cheap, and I had to get it from WH Smith's because I remember nowhere else had got it. But yeah, like all my expensive games, like my £100 plus games, like there's Bucky O'Hare that I got cheap from the booter. The others I bought with CX Credit. Like if you're talking back in the day, again, I never used to buy games brand new. The only game I remember getting brand new was Metal Gear Solid, and I had 2 days off school to complete that, and my mom fucking let me do it. But where I live, Merry Hill, is the shopping centre. They used to have an indoor market before it all become all commercial. They had an indoor market, and there was like a trade-off. You could take your old game in, get a trade in, get a newer game, and that's what I used to do a lot with my PS1. When it was my own money, I was using my pocket money to buy it. And then there was also Simics that was up in Briley Hill, Simic Games. You could do the same there. I did a lot of trading in. In fact, I used to get a lot of games from the shop in Old Hill, the PlayStation shop, which was actually called... originally, it was a Sega shop, and then obviously when Sega went, it became a PlayStation shop, and he was one of the few places that used to get games in early. So spending a lot on, as I say, a lot of games I never really worried about because they were bought with birthday money anyway. I was buying them. If not, they were bought for me. I can't say I've massively bought a game and gone, that's shit. Other than that Dino Dini's Kickoff World or whatever it was fucking called. Dana, is there any big channels you still watch? Probably not. Look, man, there's nothing wrong with these big channels. That they serve a purpose on YouTube. It's not the same purpose as me. They're like almost like a research tool. I use them as, if, like I say, if I'm after games, I don't know. Say like when I first picked up the Famicom, like obviously I bought a good portion of games off Jay Cybersnake, but I wanted to know more. And when you're delving into something that I've not played before, and there's a lot of exclusive games, I did look up people like Metal G's and use them as a research source sort of thing, like. Whereas what I'd class as our corner of YouTube, I've just read that fucking Sheffield United missed a sitter. Sorry. Our corner of YouTube is more about the interaction and the community. Again, that's another word that's thrown about all the while, but that's what it is about for me. It's about watching people's videos, leaving comments, which I've been mega shit at lately, I will say. A lot of the time I'm watching with my headphones in and I'm watching in parts, which I'll get onto in a bit. But yeah, there is a few, but not so much lately because without sounding a big head, I know enough people now. If I want to get a game, I'll ask them, say what certain games is for this. Is like if I wanted a game for the Wii, I'd probably go to fucking Retro Bear, but luckily I fucking don't. So I'll just scroll again. I'd love to know what was a cracking idea, because I have no fucking clue. What is my proudest momentum? I think he means moment on YouTube. My proudest moment on YouTube is them last lot of streams that I did during the summer. Mainly because they helped me through what was a tough period for myself. And I hope they helped other people. And I'll never get anywhere near doing. And let's be honest, it's not great fucking work that I've done. I've sat here, talked to people. I wouldn't like to single out a single guest. All of them, everyone who got involved from the first guest I had until the last. That was probably my proudest moment, because there was people who I'd never met and spoke to who were willing to jump on. I always mention it, Sneztastic Pete. What a fucking pleasure it was to talk to that guy. And he had literally not fucking spoke to me before until like Gashead Steve put us in touch. And that would probably be my proudest moment. Unless like I fucking do a video where I jump into some barbed wire and get 1 million views. Then that would be the moment. Fuck yeah, I'm drinking that like pop. Right, Nick, I can see Gernard. You're asking me a lot more questions than I expected. Do you watch people? That's where I got it from. I watched several people. Is it in Derby? It's not there now. It's been the old Camelot theme park that got took down. Also, I've probably missed the boat because there's the Hippodrome in Dudley is about to be ripped down. They've ripped down Cavendish House. There's still Longland Schools in Stourbridge, which I've seen a few people go around, and there's the old library's been ripped down. But yeah, I've watched loads, and I just find it fascinating. A lot again of the Americans have to make it really dramatized, and I can hear noise and all this shit. I love it, especially the guy who's done the Longlands College in Stourbridge. He goes in there and there's people's school books still in there from like fucking 20 odd years ago, and that whole idea of how like he's done the Clawton House as well. That's somewhere where I went as a kid, a youth club, which is being let go derelict. And he was in there, and he was in the sports hall where I went to my first ever football training session. And some people have gone down the tunnels, the Dudley tunnels, which are going to be converted back into train lines. I remembered walking those tunnels as an 11-year-old, like fucking me and my mates, when you used to walk the train lines, like Stand By Me, go up and down on your bike, stuff like that, like going through the pitch black tunnels, just stuff like that. And it, like where I live, Dudley gets a fucking bad rap, and I can be guilty of it myself, because there is some things that Dudley Council do that frustrates me. But I also don't appreciate what I have around here and what I can go and look at, and that is another one of the reasons why I want to just get out and about a bit more, to be fair. Do you think the community game user has come closer with... Good question. I think not. The gaming community's always been close, but there was a lull, probably 2018, 2019. I don't know. That was just myself because I took breaks during that time because of Dad's ill out. My channel's always been very stop-start. Like, I'm either like I am now doing regular content or I'm fucking gone. I'm ghosted. There's never any consistency with me. So maybe I've got a different view on it. But definitely during that first lockdown when we were all doing videos, everyone was watching everyone. Let's be honest, we've got fuck all else to do. I mean, there's only so many fucking wanks you can have in one day, isn't there, really? 5. So I will fucking... we can chat Amstrad later, common memories. Sounds like you've been gaming for 47 years, actually, and I've been on YouTube since 1998. What touring cars? Oh, you just... I know fuck all... I know fuck all about cars. I just used to play Toka touring cars. Toka? Fuck off, Grush, you little bastard. Right, I need to scroll to see where I'm at. Love urban exploring. And that is the sort of thing I like to get into. So I'm just checking because I've fucking scrolled down. Still 1-0, 87th minute down. Thank you very much there. By the time you read this, you'll be off the subject. Talking about memory. Do you remember not the tram, the monorail and the Warner Brothers store? You used to go to the back of the Warner Brothers store and there was like that rocket ship that you go in and you'd got like, God, there's only probably me, you, Retro Bear, and anyone else from Dudley knows about this. Like, you got the upstairs and you got the look down. There used to be Taz, Bugs, Porky Pig, and Daffy Duck. They were like big statues of them. The Warner Brothers thing was massive. The monorail, I actually went on the monorail twice when it was working. I think it got sold to Japan or China or somewhere like that. Do you remember Comtasia? No, I don't. Is that like a comic book? Oh, hang on. Is that the one? Is that the one that used to be downstairs by where the McDonald's is now? There was a shop down there where I used to get my Amstrad games from because I got WrestleMania, the one with Hulk Hogan. I think it's the Bulldog, and it might be Randy Savage on the front cover. That for the Amstrad. If that's the same stores, it used to be downstairs where the McDonald's is now. I may be wrong. I'm massively behind with comments. Sorry. I do try and answer in the best way as I can, to be honest. I can see Rob's telling everyone to like the video. Only like if you want to. Put a thumbs down because I really don't get upset about it. In fact, if you're that one person who keeps thumbing down everyone's videos, and including mine, I only make this shit because of you, because I sleep better on a night knowing that I make videos that piss people off. What is your most controversial gaming opinion? There's a fucking few, isn't there? I think the Wii shit. That fucking upsets everyone. And I had Wii on launch, but I've got no respect for the Wii. And I kind of treat the Switch the same. It's a second console. I think Nintendo know that. I think they know most people who own a PS4 and an Xbox will own a Switch, just like me. And the Wii was the same. I had my PS3, which was my gaming machine. Wii was just for a bit of a fuck about, and that's probably a controversial decision with who's in the chat. Also, I never liked Xbox as a brand or anything, which is weird because their cases are my favourite colour. But I always classed Xbox as cheating. They were like a PC, like a dumbed down PC rather than a gaming system. And I think because PS2 had a bigger library and I was already in with a PS2 first, I was much happier playing all my games like my SOCOMs, my Battlefield and all that on the PS2. I've never given a shit about Halo, which is weird because I'm massively into my first person shooters. So yeah, that's probably my most controversial. And I'll let it fucking known as well. Disagree. What do you disagree with? You disagree with fucking anything. Oh, God, Tia. They're not, mate, honest to God, right? This fucking Switch, I'll show you now. It's on full battery. Don't play it. Don't play it. I used to play it when I worked at the leisure centre, but to me, for gaming, they're a secondary system. They remind me very much of when I used to have a Mega Drive or a SNES. I'd have a Game Boy as well. That is my comparison. That I don't class them as an elite gaming system. That is my own opinion. Fucking even Dylan is fucking agreeing with me. Oh, the next generation comes really next year. That's an interesting one. See, the main reason I wasn't going to bother with the PS5 is because I can't see that leap. I mean, Pete's giving an opinion. He can't even fucking play 3D games, the fucker. Right. But I can't see the leap from the PS4 Pro to the 5. I can't see it. I can't see it at all. Whether that's my fucking old eyes gone, I don't know. You can see the step from the 1 to the 2, the 2 to the 3, and the 3 to the 4. I can't. At some point, right, we're going to get to the end of where gaming graphically can be without becoming real. And as I say real, I mean the graphics as good as watching a film. And once we get to that point, that's it. Which football team do I follow? I follow West Bromwich Albion. If someone can give me a score update, that would be massively appreciated. But yeah, feed me chicken. That would be my opinion. I think each step now is going to be smaller and smaller. It's going to be about them fine details. So, Dalek, West Ham United FC. I saw you ask me earlier if I like Doctor Who. I can't fucking stand it, if I'm honest. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, mate. More kudos to you, because I know it's a massive thing, but it's just not for me. Still 1-0. Good to hear. My mate Ray, the Gaming Vikings here. The booters are back, mate. E-Boot have been advertising. Coles has been advertising. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to bother. Because this is what I can't get my fucking head around. I'm in tier 3, but I can get to a booter. I can't get my head around that. And I think a lot of sellers are not going to come. I just don't think it's going to be worth it now. Until it gets fucking proper and I can fucking rummage around, I can't see it. But every system's ever been the same, really. You look at fucking 90% of launch titles for any system. They're not the best. They always get improved on. I mean, you go look at Mario on the NES. Mario 3's better, isn't it? Mario 2's shit. Mario 3's better, though. And that's purely down to, like, until the game designers and the programmers get hold of the software. And you always find the last fucking, I don't know, 20, 30 games made on that system are the best games, because they've already worked out what they can push the system to do and how far they can push it. How come tier 2 London, same as Liverpool? But you, mate, if I fucking answered that, I wouldn't just be a YouTuber, would I? I'd be getting paid a lot of money to sit in London drinking beer. So it's still 1-0. Let's scroll up, because I did see Little Kong. Mate, I'm not even freed up time to do my own stream. Literally, I'm doing 6 days a week at the moment. And that's not because I want to, because if anyone knows I hate doing weekends. I've freed up some time to do Owls. And that's because Al's begged me. Al's been on fucking both knees going, Dainster, I need you to come on my stream, man. I'm like, Al, I'm busy, man. Al, I'm busy. And he's like, I need you. I went, I'll see what I can do. Okay, question from Nerdy Geezer. Hello, Nerdy Geezer. Congratulations. Just gone over the 200 subscribers are here. What's your favourite console / computer? Right. It's the Master System. Not Master System, like some of you fuckers say. It's the Master System. I love the Mega Drive. I love the SNES. But if you got a gun to my head and I've got to pick a system, it's the It's the Master System, and that would be my answer on, because it was a console I owned as a kid. I put a lot of hours in, and it's, although the Amstrad's where I started gaming, if you know what I mean, that's where I started console gaming, playing with the controller. I mean, Amstrad, if my brother played 2-player with me, I was fucking bullied on my own system. I had to fucking play keyboard and he'd be joystick. Now, you may not think that's a big deal, but I can't play fucking keyboard games till today. And playing Gauntlet, which is one of my favourite games, it was befuddling to me. But yeah, the Master System. Psycho Fox is my favourite game on the Master System. I love the Sonic games on there, but Psycho Fox is the one for me. New comments, let's see. Fuck me, there's been San Andreas. See, I never go into. I used to watch. I used to play the original Grand Theft Autos when it went 3D. I've not played one. I don't think I've played a 3D Grand Theft Auto. I don't think I will hit the boot show shops, Facebook Marketplace do me. Mate, I've had some good pickups of Facebook Marketplace recently, to be fair. Might be getting some trainers off there tomorrow, and you might think, why is he buying trainers? They'll feature in a next video. What does the future hold for your YouTube? Like me, we're both hot and cold with uploads. I always say the only thing that's for sure with me is nothing's for sure. I try not to promise anything, although we all do. But the one thing I will say is now I'm just working the one job. My evenings are free, but currently Mrs. is at home and the lad's obviously not going out, so I don't get much free time on an evening. I like book the. I don't book this in because I could do stream 7 nights a week. It's a bit not nice for my missus if I'm fucking in here making a row every night. So future for this channel, Danester, which, you know, what the fuck does Danester mean? It's just a fucking stupid name that I made up fucking however many years ago when I created that channel. Yes, I am quoting Sting. See, another wrestling fan in the room. But I don't know. I should just go wherever it finds. There'll always be the pickups videos. I'll try and be consistent with them because I am I'm not picking as many finds up, but definitely there'll be the pickups videos. All be consistent. I'd like to say I'd like to do VR responses, but they're usually only 10-15 minutes videos, and I like to, if I'm going to sit down and do a video, I prefer to do like a marathon video, like, you know, make it worth my while sitting down setting up. I'm not massively big into editing. I can do a little bit. I don't want to ever be able to do a fucking load, if I'm honest. But yeah, I mean, everyone always says you should carry on the stream some way. And if I can find a natural and organic way to do it, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a monthly one. Something where I talk about, like, you know, the hot topics of the month for the gaming, of what's going on in the gaming world. More so the retro gaming world, which obviously once there's more events, events is a huge thing for me. So obviously if there's events coming up, then there's more likely chance of me doing videos. 7 minutes injury time. Are you fucking having a laugh? Sheffield United. The one thing I do know is Retro Gamer Addict Lee, or whatever his fucking name is now, he's going to pull his hair. So yeah, I'll be like you know, as long as nothing major happens in my life, I'll try and be consistent and at least bang out one video a month. What's Rob said? Who wants to spend more time with his missus? I definitely don't want to do that, mate. I'd rather. Oh, fuck me. I've done the thing where my fucking camera zooms in on the fucking. So I can't see myself now. I can't refresh it because it'll go all fucked up. So literally all I can see on my screen now is fucking this, which you can all see now. He's fucking. It's zoomed right in. So this is going to be a ball ache for the rest of the evening for me. I can't even drop myself out. I don't even know how it does that. It's this fucking mouse. We think the same watching his videos, Rob. What, they'd rather not look at our ugly mug? I'm fucking handsome. Would I ever consider selling my whole collection? Unless I was in a situation where I drastically needed the money. No, I'd never sell it all. Would I sell some of it if I needed to? Quite possibly. Oh, I'm rescuing it here. I'm trying to zoom out. Oh, God, I'm fucking making it worse. Okay, fuck it. I can at least see all the comments now. I think VAR is a great thing for football. It's done Liverpool some great decisions this season. But yeah, as for my channel, I don't know. I wouldn't sell my whole collection. It would take a massive offer to, just because if I sold it all, my missus would turn this into a guest room. And if any of you know me, I don't fucking welcome guests. I don't want people hanging out here with me. So while this is here, there's no fucking bed in here or nothing, is there? So no, I'd never sell my whole collection, that's all. Double tap out on the mouse to zoom out. Oh, who is that legend who's just told me that? Do you know how many streams that's fucking ruined in the past? Who's told me that? He's getting a shout out, who it is. I can't find him now because I'm fucking got to scroll through all the questions. Bill, in the UK, oh man, what did that TG? He told me what that stood for, TGITC. In the corner, that guy in the corner. Yes, I fucking remember that as well. We're cooking on fire now. He's told me how to work my fucking laptop. I'm going to have to crack another beer. I'm going to have to crack another beer because he's told me how to work my laptop. If you could, what have I missed part of your question, have I, Lee? Sorry. Right. I wouldn't say I have a way with words. Like, you're not going to ever get me quoting Shakespeare, are you? But if I could collaborate with any YouTube channel, who would it be? Well, one thing I'll say, right, is because of my lockdown streams I did last time, I got to collaborate with a lot of YouTubers who are classed as friends, and obviously people who I never knew. And like Dave Perry, like, you know, Dave Perry is a gaming legend in this country, and the fact that he came on my channel, spoke live, you know, a lot of pressure on people doing stuff live with This Is Always Live. He came on, he did it, it was brilliant. But people who I couldn't get on, who I'd like to have got on, I'd probably say them. Like, there was Matt Soulfunk Retro, one of the early guys who I used to talk to, who has now gone and disappeared off the YouTube. He's off the radar. He's still on social media. Hope to still see him at events and his prints. I'd like to do it with Matt. Rich King Retro as well. Again, one of the early people I used to watch. He obviously doesn't do YouTube now, but I see Rich at a lot of events. So I'm not one of these who wants to reach for the stars and fucking... I don't want to say piggyback. I've never bought anyone on this channel thinking that I'm going to take their subscribers and make my channel massive. That's fucking not how I work. I've bought someone on here because I want to have a crack. And that's probably why I don't reach for the stars and look for these huge YouTubers. I'd rather have people who I can relate with and have a good crack with. I don't think it would happen for me, mate, to be honest. Not with you fucking lot around anyway, you bunch of sex pests. See, this is the quality of channel you get live burps and everything. VHS. Us cause we cool. Is that about who I'd like to collaborate with? I'm guessing that's Pedro. That's going to happen. My missus, Richie's a great guy. Do I agree with what he writes on Facebook 90% of the time? No. But as a person who I meet and talk to and I've had beers with and who I've sat and had meals with after events and I just talk and banter with, I like Rich. I'd like to have got Rich on. But Richie's done with YouTube. He's moved on from it now. Same with Matt Soulfunk. I'd like to. And this was meant to happen last week, but I couldn't make it happen. And that was get the TNT boys back together on the stream because I thought that would be fun. Obviously, I I mean, Carl Woodlin, I don't know if he's in the chat. I know he sometimes watches on his TV with his missus. Carl is someone who made me feel so welcome when I first started doing YouTube. I used to hang out in his comments on his live stream. I think it's how I met Sean Horatio Van Basten, LFC Gamer Keith. Carl come on my stream, and Carl's someone who I'd like to meet in person and have a beer, because he's just the same sort of person as me. He don't give a fuck. Just says what he wants. And seeing someone like him and like people like Russ and Tootie and the TNT, and 90% of the people who are in the chat who are real people, just saying. When I first come on YouTube, I was worried about what I said, and in case I fucking upset people. Now I couldn't give a fuck, because that's how I am in person. You know, you either love me or you hate me, but either way, I don't give a fuck, because it won't change who I am. To be fair, I will just be who I am. There's a lot of tubers from 5 years ago that no, there is, mate. Even longer than that. I mean, you know what? To answer fucking Dylan's question earlier, I was fucking wrong. My proudest moment in YouTube, if I could narrow it down to an individual moment, I found out that guys had started watching my stream who had gone away from YouTube because of severe trolling back in the day, were back watching and back in comments that hadn't been here for around 10 years. And that's Marcus, X-Files, you know, who 10 years ago he was making regular content. He was a friend of Gashead Steve's. And the fact that because he saw that how great the community was, he's now back commenting and watching people's videos. And I can't control that, but if it come out from something that I did, that is the massively, massively proud moment for me to have done something for others. Watching Carl since the early 2010. Carl's content was just funny, and I just wish. Oh, we're gonna right? Okay then. No, and we'll fucking go down there. Let me have a swig of beer. I briefly talked about it. We all know that I was co-winner of a month of YouTube of the Month with Dad and Lads Gaming. The hosts of it, ever since me and Marcus won, then I believe it was Russ who won after, and Big Game Al, they kept manipulating until they got the competition to run their way, which they are now, because you know, they brought in the rule where you've got to pick one fucking channel that's not from your country, which funnily enough now is consistently a Canadian channel, I'm told. That would be like me picking a fucking Welsh person to be a fucking different fucking channel from a different country. It's just pedantic. They've got what they want. It won't come back, I don't think. I've redrilled myself. I have no association to do with that competition. I have no interest to be involved in the future. They fucking tarnished it and spoilt it for me, to be honest. But I did. I'll tell you now, I'm fucking not ashamed of it. I fucking planned a mass walkout. I'd got a host planned. I'd got all the contestants who were up that month willing to not accept to be the winners and walking out. And we should have done it. And fuck them and what they wanted. They can fucking do their overproduced fucking can laughter bullshit all they want. And that's my opinion. So there you go. So no, it'll be in America. You'll still be listening to that. Discover a channel. You might not know. That fucking bullshit. You'll still be watching it. And thank you very much, because you could have fucking gone the way of the Danester. And that's just the way it is. That's not me making up shit either. I've got plenty of video footage to prove that footage. That's his channel name, X-Files 2708. I think Rob, Champion 2D, Rob, if you could tell me different, is that not his Instagram name as well? Because he's got a great Instagram channel, especially if you're into your horror movies. So there you go, Dylan. You like asking the controversial questions, I've answered them. Let's be honest. Everyone writes YouTube of the Month. When it was UK channels, I bet you was all watching. Bet none of you fucking watch and vote now. And it was the same with the Americans the other way around. That's why we might as well have our own show. Because they're 90% only interested in voting for American channels. And we're 90% only interested in voting for UK channels or European. Which, if Raz ever used to make content, he'd have been up. But he's not been doing much like this. Yellow, jaundice. In fact, the little fucker was the first commenter here. And I can't see him ever since. I remember all this. Talking about neckbeard, I do need to trim mine. I don't look. I'll throw it out there. Scott Sega Zombie would be a great host, and we all know my plan was if I'd won, and because Scott wasn't originally up for YouTuber of the Month when I was the winner, I was going to fucking hand over the hosting to him anyway, because I believe he should have been hosting it this year anyway, not them pair of clowns. But I digress. But, you know, if we can get everyone to vote for Sega Zombie, we may have a chance, but I don't. Bear, mate, look, until fucking, I don't know, them pair of clowns took it over. And I've got no hard feelings to them, but they fucking spoilt the whole experience for me, so I'll do a bit. I couldn't give a fuck. Until then, it was probably run all right, mate, but it's gone. It's gone for me, and I've not watched the video since. I get told occasionally about what's going on. I don't know whether that's to fucking round me up or to get some sort of reaction, but I told you I was boycotting it, and there's one thing that Dainster is, and that's true to his word. I don't watch it now, to be honest. As soon as the Yanks, that puts Scott forward. But that was always going to happen. No sooner there was an American channel up, they were going to vote for him. Right. Who would we? I don't even know who Martin Riggs is. I know who John McClane is. Oh, man, I'm going to upset this. I don't like Die Hard. There you go. There's fucking spoiler alerts for you. I've not watched it. I love the game. Game fucking brilliant. Not watched any of the films. Not all the way through anyway. I'll get bored. So it can be a Christmas movie. It can be whatever fucking movie it wants. Oh, by the way, Rhubarb and Custard, Brother Cider. Lethal Weapon. Is that the one with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover? Because the only thing I know about that film is that I overused the meme for it of I'm too old for this shit with Danny Glover. Is Die Hard a Christmas film or not? Don't know, don't care. Never watched it. It's just not for me. I'm not really an action. I like action films like Terminator, which may be classed as sci-fi, and Rambo and Predator, but I don't class them as your classic sort of action film, like where you've got like Die Hard, your Lethal Weapons, like where you've got a hero fucking cop save the day. It's just fucking not for me. I'd love to know, right, something that Pete doesn't think is in God tier, or Pedro, or whoever he is. I'd say it was Mike, but he's not fucking up. He's still in bed. I don't know what Tutti UK is doing. He's probably sat in the background tugging away. But have we got any more questions for me? If not, I'm just going to sit here and get pissed. I'll see if I've missed any, actually. All votes taken. See, what you got to remember, Rob, is now there's loads of people watching the American one as well. So they'll just outnumber us now because... I heard. Not me. Definitely not me. Pretty sure Dainster. I do have better legs. Fucking my legs are beautiful. I normally swing them around sometimes. Normally when the Gebs is mentioned. I enjoy films where bad guys win. That doesn't happen too often, does it? If we can get all YouTube in that scene. Yes. Fucking shit plan. We should have just pulled it off him. Is wrestling better now? Oh, fucking hell. No. Wank. Utter wank. Right. I'll tell you when wrestling was best. Attitude Era was brilliant. The Next Generation stuff, shit. Bret Hart, fucking worst world title holder ever. And it was great in the 80s, the rock and wrestling era. So you had a good period, bad period, and now, ever since the Invasion angle, which I believe was 2001, it's been on a steady decline since then, Bear. It's fucking wank now, if I'm honest. Utter wank. Attitude Era was... I think the Attitude Era came around at the right age for me because I was late teens, you know, running around school, telling everyone to fucking suck it. Just very, very rebellious sort of thing. Like, you know, You know, there was swearing in it, nudity, all the fucking good things in life, really. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin flipping the bird to fucking Vince McMahon. Ever since the PG era with fucking John Cena, oh my god. I tried watching it because the lads who I worked with at the Leisure Centre, they were big into the wrestling. They were a bit younger than me. And like I used to tell them all about the old stuff. To me, it was shit. I couldn't watch it. I've been to some live events. TNA, Total Non-Stop Action, actually put on some of the best wrestling house shows I ever went to, better than WWE at the time, because I went to WWE as well. But like I used to like guys like Jake Roberts, Mr. Perfect. I never liked Hulk Hogan. In fact, you know, anyone who they just shoved down your throat, I hated. I hated Hulk Hogan. I hated Bret Hart. I liked Shawn Michaels. I didn't like Diesel. But anyone who was a good guy who they wanted you to cheer for me, I was like, nah, fuck off. I don't want this bullshit. I used to like teams like Demolition, Mr. Perfect. I used to like, obviously, as I said, Shawn Michaels was one of my favourites when he was. I mean, I'm talking about when he was Intercontinental Champion, and his match he had with Rick Martel. I believe it was at SummerSlam where they can hit each other in the face. Jake the Snake Roberts was one of my favourites. Macho Man, I used to like Macho Man more than I liked Hulk Hogan. I liked the Ultimate Warrior just purely for his look and his energy. Wrestling wise, he was shit. Again, like in the Attitude Era, it was like DX, Steve Austin, Kane. They were people who I liked. You know, I was never one for the good guy. I never really liked The Rock when they tried to make The Rock a good guy. I always liked him as a bad guy. So, WCW wise, I used to like, again, the bad guys. I liked Hulk Hogan in the NWO because he was ultimately against what he used to stand for. Like, you know, I don't know, I must have been a fucking miserable kid. Like, I hated forced goodness on me. Make me be happy, make me cheer for this guy. I'm like, fuck off. I want to see the bad guy kick his fucking ass. Like, going back, I like the Iron Sheik. Some of the Iron Sheik's work, man. I mean, he's a crazy son of a bitch now. But as I say, I used to watch a lot of the shit wrestling as well on VHSs. I mean, there's probably people like Bruiser Brody and stuff like that. Roddy Piper, I loved Roddy Piper. And the reason why I like Roddy Piper is because he was the first person I remember who transcended to films with They Live, which John Carpenter. I always tell this story. I'm a massive John Carpenter fan, but I was a huge John Carpenter fan before I knew I was. Because as a kid growing up, I don't know about you, but I didn't care who made the film. I didn't care. It's just I like that film. Well, one of my favourite films as a kid was Halloween, which I watched with a kid who was a couple of years older than me at school. He was big into his films. He knew about my dad's VHS collection. And when we used to have half days at school, because Mom would be at work, I'd have the house to myself. We'd come back and we'd watch some of Dad's films. And one of the horror films we watched was Halloween. And that instantly became a favourite of mine. The first VHS that I bought with my own money was Big Trouble in Little China. Again, John Carpenter. And I've told the story before. There used to be a guy who owned the local nightclub who used to rent videos out the boot of his car. We used to call him the Video Man because he was the Video Man. And one of the films there was a set of films that we always used to rent and watch more than once. There was Ghostbusters, which he had an edition with an episode of a cartoon on as well. We always used to rent that. Pardon me. And They Live, which again had radio. So as a kid, I'm like, that guy's a wrestler. Why is he in this film? And obviously there's a huge fight scene, and I'm just thinking, oh, this is brilliant. So it wasn't until much later in life, and I think it was actually another couple of films my dad had on VHS were Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Again, I enjoy, and it was just so happens, like, if you look at John Carpenter's films, they all couldn't be more further from the part than how they are. Like, you know, you've got Halloween, which is one of the original slashers, Big Trouble in Little China, which is slash fantasy slash action, Escape from New York is definitely sci-fi, and then you got They Live, which would be classed as a very woke film now, and that was kind of how I found out I was a fan of John Carpenter films. and it all stemmed from wrestling. So yeah, Roddy Piper. But to answer your question, Bear, it is fucking awful now. I feel sorry for the kids who have to watch it now. I mean, my brother used to be into wrestling, not as much as me, but again, going back, I'm trying to find where Retro Bear's comment so I can get to the next one. Cable West Midlands, Telewest, whatever it was. When I remember Dad having that, and it like blew my mind because I could watch wrestling every week, whereas before, you know, the only wrestling I got to watch was the WCW show that used to be on ITV. And occasionally, my sister, she had a boyfriend at the time whose parents had cable when no one had cable, so I'd watch a bit of wrestling there. In fact, I remember playing Roadrunner on the Atari. Was it 2600 at his house? I played Roadrunner on something there as well. That's a memory that's just flashed back to me there. But I remember seeing Jake the Snake Roberts Snake bite Macho Man on the arm at this my sister's boyfriend's house. So then I used obviously when you had cable TV, you didn't have to pay for the American pay-per-views. They came with your subscription because like literally cable used to throw everything in for a real cheap price back in the day. So I remember like 4 times a year, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and WrestleMania. 4 times a year, my parents would let me stay up late, like to watch those pay-per-views live as a kid. And I used to record them on VHS, and there was always a kid at school who would lend the VHS of me. But up until I sold my VHS, I still had a collection of like, you know, Royal Rumble 91, WrestleMania 91, blah, 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 recorded all the way through on VHSs, different colour VHSs sort of thing. So yeah, wrestling was massive to me as a kid. And then obviously King of Ring came on, and then obviously you have the monthly pay-per-views now. But it was much better. And I think the other reason for that is because they had less pay-per-views, the stories, like you used to wait a whole year for that feud to end, whereas now it's done within a month. So hope I've not bored you all too much with film and wrestling talk. I know this is... Has The Undertaker retired? He has now, officially after 30 years, hence why I jumped on the bandwagon and I used him for my thumbnail, because I like to create my thumbnails. Streets of Rage 4, bad, good or bad? For me, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's a longevity game. You know, I've played it now, I've completed it. Me and Gus Newton also completed it on double player, I believe. So I don't feel like I need to go back right away and play it again. But I'll play it again in the future. But I can see why someone... I think it's the... I'm going to throw it out there. I think it's the game of the year. Definitely. That might be controversial there. But I think it could be the game of the year. Have you not got your... Dylan, that's got to be a fucking joke, because even I've got mine. I think me and you were the only people who didn't cancel our order. Abyss in TNO. Sting from the Police. I'm guessing... Oh, that mate, without a shadow of a doubt. He's got a boss eye now, though, isn't he? Iron Sheik, God level. Is that like the ultimate? Is it God level? Oh, fucking hell. I've jumped again. I'm going to scroll back up to where... Apologies, running late. How's everyone? Dad the Lads Gaming. Marcus, hello. How are you, mate? A lot. Anything you've done in the 80s. Ghost of Mars was one. He's done a few. He more or less collaborates, or he's a guest director now. But yeah, a lot of his modern work. I think he's one of them who's probably had his hands tied, John Carpenter, by the times. Was Rowdy Roddy? Yes, he was. Hell Comes to Frogtown, and there was another one. In fact, I think that is... that's on Amazon Prime. I have... Or it might be on my Roku box. I've got several different ways where I can watch films. It's boring. Yeah, I mean, I know this is predominantly a game channel, but like all of us, You know what? It probably isn't a gaming channel, although I'm surrounded by games. It's very much a nostalgic channel of everything that I enjoyed as a kid, and I enjoy probably more now. Because I'm not being funny, man, but the world's a shit place now. It was fun in the 80s. It's no wonder everyone wants to go back to the 80s. 80s and early 90s were fucking fun. You're not allowed to have fun anymore. And that's not just going on with what's going on with fucking COVID and locking me on. It's been probably going on the last 4 or 5 years. You know, it's almost against the law to have your own fucking opinion. And the day this becomes illegal for me to voice my own opinion on this channel is the day this channel will fucking end. I'm waiting. I'm going to switch game. Dylan, are you seriously not got your fucking Streets of Rage? Because I've got them both. I've got them on the Switch. And I've got it on the PS4. Both come from Limited Running. Well, obviously they came at the fucking same time because it was in the same box. Showed it in one of my pickup videos, actually. How are we going? Oh, we're on an hour and 20 minutes of me just talking shit to you all. I'm going to throw a question out to you lot, right? Because I can't always guarantee to get a guest on. How about once a month, I'll try and do a video where we do this. We hang out. We talk shit. I drink beer. And we just talk about things, you know. Call it an open forum where, you know, you all sit in the comments, say what you want. I'll let you know my opinion on it. And I'll drink beer. In fact, there's nothing about it at the moment that I'm saying that's thinking, no, I don't want to do that. I'll tell you what I ain't showing you what I've got. We got fucking snacks tonight. Look at these bad boys. Who remembers these? Fucking Happy Snacks. Spicy tomato and onion. I was going to have salt and vinegar, but I've fucking ate all them. They are like the best flavour. Do you remember? It was oh my god, I've fucked up my camera by showing Happy Snacks. How are we going to get that back? Ooh. Oh, he's fucked his camera. Oh, there I am. Do you remember Cheapo Crisps back in the day in the shops when they had artificial flavouring and everything in? They were better. They've took all the good shit out of stuff now. Cheap Crisps used to be like Tangy Toms. They said, if you call, people will come. If I build it, pickled onion Munster Munch, I could fucking eat. You know, like the sacks of taters. You got a sack of taters. Are they the same as snaps? No, fucking. I'm going to open the pack now. You can get like £1 million for £1 of these. They're like little puff fucking flavour quiz. Quarterbacks are good. Space Raiders. Space Raiders are the fucking bollocks. Do you remember prawn cocktail flavour? Monster Munch. They only did them for a bit. Prawn cocktail Monster Munch. Who's Lee? I was retro. I was hoping it was You've Been Gamed. He's probably kicking his fancy lights everywhere now. The Albion have fucking beat Sheffield United. They kicked me out of the WhatsApp group. I even looked. Monster the best, Crisps, definite. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that are gone that they don't do anymore. See, because they do fucking quarterbacks now, but they're hard. Did they used to fry the crisps back in the day and now they bake them because they're shit now? However Monster Munch do theirs is still good. Tangy Tom's was definitely some. Again, these were all from Mr. Patel's. Because there used to be Bev and John's shop. That was a good shop, but they moved away. Was it Bev? Then there was Brian's shop. He was a miserable cunt. I never used to go in there. And then there was Mr. Patel's. Mr. Patel was because he got this fucking massive you know, like the massive counters that you have with all the ice creams in. But he got that full of shelves with all the 1p sweets, man. And you just have mix-ups. You know, when you was at school, find £1 on the floor, go and get 100 sweets. Discos they're up there. Discos and squares are the most flavoursome fucking crisps I've ever had. Someone's just said Scampy Fries. I've seen a banned advert for Scampy Fries where there's these three guys sat on a sofa at like a house party, and this fucking bird goes to the toilet, and the one chap says, like, pretends he's going to go and pull her, and she goes to the toilet and just slams the door in his face. So he grabs a bag of Scampy Fries, eats the Scampy Fries, goes back to his mates, and he's like, just done her sort of thing, and they're like, going, fuck off, have you? And he gets the Scampy Fries and he rubs them under his mate's nose. You know, this is the level of Nick Nack's great crisps. Great crisps. Fish and chips biscuits. Halfpenny sweet. You got Mojo's, Blackjacks. I was on about, do you remember slimy slurps? There used to be He-Man ones, like there was in a packet like square. You used to peel them off and there was like a jelly sweet. You could get horror ones as well, like spiders. Slimy slurps. I remember my missus gave me some of them recently, but the He-Man ones were the bollocks back in the day. Mr. Patel's shop was the bollocks back in the day. I'm trying to think what it is now. It's a massive mini mart now. So I'm looking at that shop now. It's been knocked all the way through as a mini mart. When it was Mr. Patel's, it was as big as this fucking room. And if you got 3 people in there, you was like, don't touch me. Brilliant. I am obsessed with buying pork crunch now. Hedgehog flavoured crisps, wasn't that Walker's? They weren't actually hedgehog flavoured, but they did. Walker's probably have some of the best fucking advertising of crisps. They don't so much now, but like, remember Gary Lineker and oh god, Willie Ford. Was Willie Ford who the snooker player? Who remembers like the really puffs? Was they called puffs? They were like little fucking. They looked like fucking. They just exploded and swollen. Puffs crisps or something like that. What chocolate bars as well, man? I used to love Caramac bars. Do they still do Caramac bars? See, I'm diabetic now, so I try not to look. I'm a shit diabetic. But Caramac bars, they used to be the bollocks they did back in the day. I remember when Freddo's like 5p each. It weren't even Freddo's, they were like Taz bars before Freddo's. There was Taz from fucking Warner Brothers that my boy old Little Con Gaming was talking about. Sultan Lineker, Cheese and Owen. Was the Smokey Beckham as well? Was that the other one? Smokey Beckham. I'm pretty sure it fucking was. If you come here for gaming chat, we've not bothered tonight. We've talked about everything else. How life was much better in the 80s and the 90s. Curly Whirlies. I think they definitely still met one of them. Because my missus' lad had some and I stole them out of his drawer. Yes, they were definitely called puffs, weren't they? They were in a blue packet. And I'm sure it was like a fucking Happy... Who remembers Happy Shopper stuff as well, man? You used to get ripped the piss out of if you had Happy Shopper stuff. Fucking Happy Shopper. Quick Save, no frills. Times were hard if mum and dad had to get you Quick Save, no frills. I remember back in the day, man, if mum and dad went shopping at Aldi, I'd be like, Mum, don't get fucking walking around with an Aldi bag. You want to take the Asda ones or something? Like, you used to be embarrassed, whereas now, no one gives a fuck. If you're one of these Waitrose shoppers, fuck off, you posh cunt. Or send me some money so I can shop there. Send me some money. Sign up to my Patreon. I've just gone silent now because I'm fucking reading you lot talking about stuff. Grown-up crisps. Frazzles. You can still get Frazzles. Frazzles ain't as good as they used to be, though. I remember Frazzles, right? You couldn't get Frazzles in a normal shop. They were, like, special in the pub. They were, man, like, hung up. Whereas now, everyone gets Frazzles. Quick Save chicken Kiev were the best. I remember the Quick Save that used to be down on the island at the bottom there. Oh, shit. There was a Oinks. Was there a pack of crisps called Oinks or something? And they were bacon flavour circles or something. Is that them? Oinks. Oh, the crisps that were shaped. Oh, I know what you mean. They were like puffy crisps, like, and they were like, when you say a wheel, you mean like on the old coach and horses that like used to be in cowboy films and stuff like that. Bombay mix from the offset. I remember going to the chip shop right as a kid, and you could get the burgers in a box. They called Dandy Burgers or something, and they were in a box at the chippy, and they used to ping them in the microwave. They were the bollocks, man. Never mind these fucking rustler things. Dandy Burgers in a box from the chippy. Because there used to be a woman who owned a fucking chip shop by us called Annie. She was an Irish woman. And you go in, can I have a cone of chips and a dandy burger, please, Annie? And she go, yes, no worry, me dear. Do you want salt and vinegar? And she'd already fucking put it on. He was like, nah, I just wanted salt. And oh, too late, nah. Fucking hell. She won the lottery, the lucky fucker. Oinks was the bomb. Oinks were fucking brilliant crisps, man. Transformer snacks, they're still going. The only ones that I think still taste as good now as when I was a kid are Space Raiders. Do you remember when there used to be the story on the back of the Space Raiders as well? Thundercats crisps, yes, Pete. They were hard, yes. They were in the shape of the Thundercats logo. Fucking black packet. Guess where I used to get them from? Answers in the comment. Guess who used to sell fucking Thundercats crisps? Yes, it was Mr. Patel. Fucking honest to God. James, Game Zone. Bird Room. Welcome, James. How's it going? Feed me chicken still, yeah? Fucking hell, them Thundercats crisps, man. Like, I obviously spoke about Garbage Pail Kids, right? But do you remember as a kid, you used to get a chewing gum, like about that big square, and it always had a roll tattoo or a roll stick around it. There was Thundercats ones, definitely. I used to have shitloads of them all over lunch boxes. I used to get a new lunchbox, so I'd fucking covered the old one with stickers. I needed a new one to stick stickers on. I don't remember Hubba Bubba drinks, but I remember I must have had consistently every day for about 3 years at school Atomic Apple flavour Hubba Bubba. Because do you remember Keenan and Kel when everyone used to say, who loves orange soda? Kel does. My mates used to say, who loves Atomic Apple Hubba Bubba? Because literally my fucking school blazer, best thing about school blazer, inside pocket, filled with chewing gum. I always used to get caught for chewing shit at school. And the one day I'd bought, you know, like one of them gobstoppers, not the fucking huge ones, but like medium-sized ones. So I'm sat in maths, right? Put the gobstopper in my mouth. Fucking teacher asks me something, though. So I'm trying to avoid the answer. And I'm trying to move this fucking thing so I can talk and not fucking choke on it. So anyway, you can fucking see this gobstopper in my mouth. And he just goes, Medins, spit that out. So I walked over to the bin. I shit you not, man. And I stood over the bin and I kicked the bin so it sounded like I'd spat this fucking gobstopper in it, right? And I got away with it for another 10 minutes, man. And I must have just forgot myself and started crunching. And he lost his shit, man, over me just chewing a fucking gobstopper. He goes, is that another one? Like a dickhead. I just went, no, it's the same one. And he was fucking... Teachers used to lose their mind over like the simplest of shit. I think it's because I was a cheeky bastard, though, to be fair. I always was booted out of science. Fucking... In fact, the one science teacher, he was all right with me. It was the fucking woman teacher hated me. And she kicked me out for something my mate did, and because I found it funny, I'd got to go. And Mr. Dassor, respect you if I'm still alive, he used to just call me in his office and we'd sit and talk football because I used to play for the school team and he used to be one of the coaches. But trading cards or stickers with a stick. Stickers with a stick. I used to love trading cards. You know, again, it's the collecting thing. I've got a full set it down here of Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles. Let's fucking get this down. Keep fucking promising it though. Right. These are OG. These are mine from back in the day. That's a complete set of the Jurassic Park collector's cards. Fucking Jurassic Park is one of my favourite films of all time. If Gus Newton's fucking watching, he's laughing. Let's see. Fucking hell. Check out these bad boys. Fucking complete set of the Neighbours top cards. Let's see if we can find someone who's not... That's Des, isn't it? He used to have an exceptionally fit missus and he used to own the calf, I think. Harold Bishop. Fucking Harold Bishop. Kylie. And Jason. We've got the bad boy that is Mrs. Mangle. Who the fuck remembers Mrs. Mangle? Daphne, that's it. Is this her? This is her? Is it? Ellie Smith. Yeah, she plays Daphne Clark. It's actually got the fucking actress's stats on the back. Fucking hell. Let's flick. Look at this drama. Mrs. Mangle's down. Who the fuck's she? Fucking Neighbours. Fucking hell. Harold Bishop. Fucking hell. I'm trying to see if there's anyone who's, other than Jason Donovan and Colin Minogue, if there's anyone who's famous now. Oh, God, I recognise her. She's probably fucking 60 now. Fucking hell. This is something I never thought I'd fucking admit to owning. I bet these are fucking worth something. Oh, Jim Robinson. You know what's sad? I know these people because my mum used to watch Neighbours. Fucking hell. That's it. There's no more fucking goldies in there. Anyway, let's find these Ninja Turtles one. Gladiators. Here we go. This isn't my full set. My full set is in a folder. This is my swaps. These are my swapsies, my Ninja Turtles swapsies. I used to like... Des was still in that. He's... Fuck off, man. Neighbours, what a show. I'm trying to find one of Michelangelo because I heard his nunchucks were banned from the UK. He's always eating shit in this. Oh, the Technodrome. I always wanted the Technodrome playset. It was one of the few things as a sport little bastard I never got. Jet from Gladiators. I think that card may be a bit damaged if I've got one of Jet. I've got 15 million swaps of fucking Bebop and Rocksteady. I've showed my football ones in the past, I think. X-Files. Fucking few ones from X-Files, man. These were a great set of cards. I didn't appreciate them. They're the X-Men and X-Force. Let's get the Lackey band off these. See if there's anyone. That's quite a good card. Wolverine versus Sabretooth. She was my favourite one from the cartoon series anyway, Rogue. As you can see, as a child, I was still a pervert. Fucking hell. I mean, what relevance has that got to do with kids' collector's cards there of Rogue? Bishop, great character. Days of Future Past, obviously that's from. You mean full set of these, Rob? Fucking Thunderbirds. I've got another box of cards over there. Fucking top stadium club collection football. These are probably the earliest ones I remember collecting. Do you remember these? The Batman ones. I don't know if these are in order. Obviously from the... was it 89? 1989, the original Batman film. See, I'm upsetting all the card collectors in the rooms now. Another one of Jack Nicholson. Yeah, and these are stickers from the Mask. I had the Mask sticker book. I actually quite like that's like proper 90s, isn't it? That bright flamboyant colour. I actually have got a complete set of World Series NFL cards. I think they are. I'll tell you how I know. I bought them years ago from Poundland, box full. No fuck all about American football, and he was playing for the Raiders. How bad's this? There's the wrestler, John Layfield, Bradshaw. He's in that set of cards. JBL. He's playing for the Raiders. I think they'd be early 90s. Without going in my shed, I know where they are. They're in like a slip box because they're just, you could buy the complete set rather than collecting the cards. And yeah, JBL's in there. Dirty boy. Steve's after an after party if anybody wants an after. Did you guys finish? Oh, mate, my mum was hardcore. As I say, God bless her soul, my mum. She caused all this collecting me. Do you remember in the papers when like people used to say wanted stickers in the papers and they list what they wanted in the free ads? There's not many sticker books I started that I didn't finish. I completed the Power Ranger one, completed Mask, Thundercats, the blue WWF one definitely was completed. Ghostbusters was completed. Trying to think what else I had. The Simpsons one. Do you remember the Simpsons one with the 3D stickers? I completed that. But my mom, when you got down to like the last few, she would fucking put ads in the papers, or she would read through the papers, seeing who had what's, and she'd arrange for my dad to go and fetch me these fucking. No wonder my dad fucking thinks I was a pain in the ass. I fucking am a pain in the ass. I'm not getting much better because I'm still pressuring him to let me have the spare room as an office, and I'm going around there tomorrow because I want to set up an office for my eBay selling. So yeah, no wonder he thinks I'm a pain in his fucking ass. But yeah, like my mom was hardcore. Completing them sticker albums. I think it was as much for her as it was for me looking back now, because she was like a collector herself. Like she collects ornaments, she collected thimbles, stuff like that. You know what the sad thing is? I don't own any of those sticker books anymore that were completed. They all got chucked out when mom, because like I used to have Zoo, Nuts, FHM, and obviously when I lived at mom's, they were all in my wardrobe next to me and at the bottom. So like, if ever I had one of my girlfriends around and I weren't embarrassed, were all my sticker books right at the bottom, you know, that I'd had for fucking 20 odd years. Who was in Captain America? We need to, mate. I will do a Super Bowl stream here, but you have to explain all. Literally, my affiliations with the NFL is right. I like the Miami Dolphins because I like the color of the jersey, and I have them collection of fucking NFL cards. So that is it. In fact, I'll tell a lie. I've got an NFL hat as well. I've got a Miami Dolphins hat as well. And that is it. That's my affiliation with the NFL. There's loads of guys locally who have go and watch the NFL games. Are in London, but it would just be waste. I know Woodlin, who you probably wouldn't know, Russ, because he was about a long time ago, and he doesn't do videos anymore. Massive Patriots fan. I think he's a Patriots fan. And in fact, that was part of the motivation of me liking the Dolphins, because I believe there's a bit of rivalry between the two. Dylan's got to go and do the washing up before the missus beats him. Is the boxing on soon? Is that on BT? Because I think it's fight night on BT tonight. If you've all got to go and watch the boxing, just leave me. But before you go, there's something that I've been meaning to do all night, and I'm going to fucking highlight the little bastard because he's here. Right, Basabi, James, he's appeared on this stream twice. He's our man from Japan, and literally that is who he is now. If you want to go over, James has re-uploaded a lot of his old content, and he's also done a new video. He's reaching out and doing. He's done like showing his collection. I don't know if he's nervous or he's putting it on, because I can fucking not tell with James. But he's reaching back out there, and obviously he's out in Japan. but a lot of his friends in the community are here, and he's doing videos again. So go over, go now. Don't even wait till I finish my stream. Type in Basabi as spelt here. Go and subscribe to his channel now. So fuck off. Just go. Fuck off. Go and subscribe to his channel. Watch his latest video and leave him a comment, because he's a top guy. He's James. So go check him out. Massive PS1 collection. Huge. So yeah, go check him out. I think collecting the helmets is like a big thing that they do in America, like the miniature helmets. Rich is a Dudley lad as well, by the way. Russ is based local to us, as is the Gaming Viking. You need to follow the New York Giants. Isn't that the one with Rick Moranis in? Does Rick Moranis play for them? Or was he in a film called Little Giants? Oh, we on about the Tyson fight. Is that actually going to be a proper fight now? There it is. Basabi James. Again, I met James a few times before we moved to Japan. I believe we went to a McDonald's after one event. He got Stu to go to Barnsley. Stu got me to go to Barnsley, and you know I could have never forgiven him for that. But he's a good friend of Rob's. He's a good friend of Stu. I like to class him as a good friend of mine. He sorts out a lot of the guys' stuff with import stuff from Japan. So go over, show him some support, get him to do some more videos, and 4 a.m. we got hours. That Tyson fight, right, is going to be the biggest pile of bollocks. Are they allowing knockouts now? The last I heard they wasn't, and then I heard rumours they were. Yeah, the helmets. I think they collect miniature helmets now. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, really, Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. They both must need the payday. That's all I'm thinking. It's like a Carney Freak Show of a fight. I believe there's another bigger fight also on, but not on the same card. That's what we like to hear. But Sal met James a couple of times when he was selling up his stuff and events with Stu. And he's a nice chap. He's a nice chap. He gives Rob shit as well, which anyone who gives Rob shit is right up there, which I was hoping Rob was in here. I mean, I don't know whether to mention this, but there is rumours circling that you may be getting a Games Room tour, and that's as far as I'll take it. As far as I will take it, but it could happen. That's the one I've heard of, that Joyce. Because we've had a guy working with me today. He's a labourer for the company I work for Monday to Friday. He wanted some Saturday work, and he's a big boxing fan, and he was talking about that today. Please go over, all right? You've been lurking, you little bastard. Go over and subscribe to this channel, Fob. You may recognise him when he uploads some videos. So, again, stop what you're doing now, because I'm only talking shit. Go over and subscribe to this channel, because you will not be let down when you get to see the Games Room tour from Fob. And when I think of Fob, I always think of Pob, which was that fucking thing that spat at the screen and went, "It's finny now." That's all I remember. How high was my voice then? You wouldn't believe my testicles had dropped. Following James to check out. There may have been some sarcasm there, Rich, but he has got some nice stuff. And he's only scratching the surface in his first video. The stuff to come later. I know James is a sort of guy who, when he says mint, he means like fucking it's just come off the print. It's that mint. Tyson Roy Jones Jr. It's going to be a farcical fucking performance there. Pob was mint. Was that even fucking English, Pob, or was it French and dubbed? Because it seemed real bizarre to me. And when I think of Pob, I also think of Bod. Who remembers Bod with that? I think Retro Bear mentioned Bod in his last video. And again, when we were at school, right, we had a lad who I went to school with called Bod. His nickname was Bod. I'm not going to reveal his fucking real name. But fucking hell, that kid could lie. He promised me, right, he could get me a Mega Drive with 20 games for free. Still fucking waiting for the free Mega Drive with 20 games. But we used to say that Bod, I don't even know why he was called Bod, but we used to say it stood for bullshitting obsession disease because he used to fucking lie about everything. Everything. The fucker couldn't lie straight in bed. He'd kick my ass now because he does some fucking taekwondo or something, right? But that was his nickname at school, Bod. In fact, my name was that weird, being Dana. I didn't fucking have the luxury of getting a nickname because my fucking actual nickname was embarrassing enough. I didn't need one. I've just subbed and resubbed to James. Excellent. Seriously, go and check out Fob and check out Basabe. Both great guys. As I say, they're both on the stream. That's my virus definition update. Is that fucking protect my laptop from corona or something? Alberto Frog and his amazing animal. What the is that something from like the 1920s? You do realise you're probably about 20 years older than me, Retro. I'm probably one of the youngest tubers actually now. I think most handsome by a mile. Probably one of the younger ones as well. But yeah, Pop was fucking Welsh. Well, fucking explains. He used to wear like a fake Freddy Krueger jumper, yellow and red one, didn't he? I'll tell you what was Welsh, and I found out because I used to like it. Super Ted. Super Ted was Welsh. That was a fucking brilliant series, that was. Until they made the second series because the Americans took it off them and they fucked it up because they fuck up everything. I am the best looking YouTuber. Male. Female. It's probably, I don't know. I don't follow the female ones. I'm not allowed to. I've got this thing on my thing. If I go to follow a female tuber, I'm banned. Over the Engine. Now that's older than me. Over the. See, I used to watch. See, the one thing my dad did like enforce on me as a kid is I had to watch because I used to like Thunderbirds and Stingray because they had a bit of a rejig, didn't they, in the early 90s. He made me fucking watch this thing called Fireball XL5, right? And it was black and white, so instantly I didn't like it. But fucking Dad loved it, so I had to watch Fireball XL5. I know the theme tune now. I fly around the universe on Fireball XL5. That's all I remember from that. Shit. I didn't like Joe 90 either. That was shit. Bagpuss, now I'm talking. I had a cat called Bagpuss. He was a big tabby cat, and I called him Bagpuss as a kid. We always had cats as a kid. Really original names as well. So you had Bagpuss because he was a tabby cat. We had a pure white cat. Guess what we called it? Snowy. All the cats, right, used to like me, and I hated Snowy because she used to fucking sleep on my school trousers that were folded up from school. Terrorhawks, I was petrified of Terrorhawks. Zelda. Dad was on about that today. In fact, funny me talking about that. Dad was talking, he watched a program last night to do with Jerry Anderson and all that. And he was on about Fireball XL5. He goes, you used to have that on video. I went, no, Dad, fucking you had it on video. You used to make me watch it. What did your dad love? Super Magic Roundabout, never got into that. Ludwig the Egg? What the? Are you just making up fucking random shit now? I'll tell you what else my mum used to make me watch, and that was from her childhood. Was it Watch with Mother? With Andy Pandy and all that shit. Mum used to make me watch that. Muffin the fucking Mule. Muffin the Mule. I had them on VHS. Rosie and Jim. I used to like them as a kid. I remember Rosie and Jim going to the waterfront by Merry Hill, the canal line. Fucking Watch with Mother. I always remember there was an episode of Watch with Mother and they were showing you how to make like a sand garden, like for farms, and she got this little rake, little plastic pigs and everything, and then fucking Muffin the Mule come fucking bouncing along. Danger Mouse. I've got, hang on, crotch shot. Oh fuck, that's good catch that was. I've got a little Danger Mouse. Because that's my initials, that is DM. And I also know it's Schmuck Pilot's initials if he's watching this back. Yeah, so I've got a little Danger Mouse because that is my initials, DM. Fucking, as well, Watch with Mother. Fucking hell. They were definitely like reruns on like on videos because they were black and white. There was like this woman with like fucking And she got like curled hair, like, you know, like how I imagine everyone in the 50s was. Fucking hell. There was something else. The Herb Garden. Oh, fuck me. Parsley the Lion. Am I fucking making this up? This is all coming back to. See, I used to just want to watch Ghostbusters, Thundercats, and fucking He-Man. The Raccoons was brilliant. Which actually, Old School Variety Face used to have a really good mix of the theme from the Raccoons, Run With Us by Lisa. I can't remember her name. But that's one of my favourite tunes. In fact, I did ask to use that in a project that I never actually got around to doing. Carlton and the Wheelies. The only Wheelies I remember is... Oh, God, remember the Flumps? My fucking brother loved the Flumps. Fucking Flumps. And then they were sweet, they were. What else? Button Moon. Fucking... The Clangers. With the fucking soup dragon that made the stupid noise. I mean... That was what I used to watch as a kid, and that was probably fucking 15 years old when I watched that back then. Kids nowadays don't watch the stuff we used to watch. They're missing out. Poddington Peas. I think I've mentioned this before, right? The Moomins. Fucking hell. I've got a story about that. I know most theme tunes to fucking most cartoons, and I know the lyrics to a lot of them. Poddington Peas is one of them. But Moomins, when I used to play, when I mentioned before on PS2, we used to play a game called Sokum. There was a family of people from Birmingham who were in my squad. There was It's Jonesy, Dark Destroyer, and then there was the two nephews, and one of them was called Moomin Troll. And that, just you saying that has made me. Our clan tag used to be S squiggle A, and it stood for Suicide Army, because on that game you could actually kill yourself, like if you trod over a mine that you planted down. And we all used to do it all the while. That was the name of our clan, was the Suicide Squad. The Shoe People, fucking, was that done in the West Midlands, Pete? Because that was a big thing at Walsall Illuminations. There was always a Shoe People display. And when I go to the boot sale, there's still a lot of Shoe People memorabilia about. Willie Fogg, Around the World in 80 Days, yes. 80 days around the world, a lot of time has gone. Moomins, Swedish Moomins was 100%. DuckTales, that was good. Trapdoor, oh, fucking... I had the game for that on the Amstrad. And all I remember is you had to do something with a can of worms or something like that. Dogtanian. That's getting a remake. 1 for 1 and 0 for 1. Portland Bill, yes. The Portland Bill. I used to have an annual of Portland Bill. Fraggles. Never really liked Fraggles. Fraggle Rock. Family Ness. Charlie Chalk. I recently watched something with my missus, and they went into a fancy dress shop and they got legit Charlie Chalk outfit. I made a rewind what we were watching. I went, that is the Charlie Chalk outfit. Batthink, your bullets cannot harm me. My wings are like a shield of steel. I could just do a show where we randomly say fucking cartoons. Then I say the line. I've got the box set of Dungeons and Dragons somewhere, which never got completed. We never know if they ever made it home. Banana Man. Am I right in thinking that it's Banana Man a Midlands thing as well, Pete? Was that made in the Midlands? I want to say that was similar people who did Shoe People. Biker Mice from Mars. Mr. Ben. I still say, like, quote Mr. Ben now. Like, when someone fucking says something and goes, and I'm like, he disappeared like fucking Mr. Ben. And I'm like, who the fuck's Mr. Ben? I'm like, you don't know who Mr. Ben is? Fuck off. Jamie and his magic torch. Or is it James and his magic flashlight? Penny Crayon. Around the Twist. Forget Around the Twist. Who remembers Around the Bend? With the crocodile. And there was a rat. And I think they had to take it off because the rat was clearly Janet Street Porter. I know why someone's mentioned this, because fucking Tony sings the theme tune to Ulysses, and Mark sung it last night on Bootleggers, and he goes, Ulysses, no one else can do the things you do. Pugwall Summer, was that Australian? Rude Dog and the Dweebs. We once went to Barry Island, right? And my dad was really good at darts, and he won this fucking Rude Dog, right? For me. This was like a Rude Dog plushie toy. And because he wanted to win another one for someone else, he took his jacket off like about 3 hours later and went up to win one, right? And hoped the guy didn't remember, because it was 1 win per day. And just before he throws his first dart, I turned around to the bloke and goes, my dad's going to win another one here. My dad, I used to fucking get my dad in so much shit back in the day because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Heathcliff, you're no good. Terrorize the neighborhood. Rolling Rat. We have a Rolling Rat in the room. Rat fans. See, this is just a room of nostalgia. And I have now been talking for 2 hours. So what I'm going to ask, right, because when I do live streams, I don't get many comments, because obviously we've all chatted in the comments, in the live chat, sorry. So what I'm going to ask is, if you've enjoyed tonight's stream and we want to do something similar to this each month, I'm well up for it. Raggy Dolls, great show. Just leave me a comment or some sort of feedback, just so I get a feel of I've not just sat here and been a prick for 2 hours, although I probably have. So what I'm going to do is, I need a piss now. I'm going to finish off my drink live on camera. I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Thanks to everyone who's been a guest, everyone who's been in the comments, everyone who's just watched any of this or the last 41 live from lockdown that I've done. But this is 100% the last ever of the live from lockdown series. Whenever you see me back doing a live stream, it will be called something else. It will be something else. I just want to say thank you all. And from the bottom of my heart, thanks for all the time you've put in watching. It's been emotional. I've enjoyed doing all these streams. I've enjoyed all the guests. And I've enjoyed tonight. So, for one last time, let me have a little look, see if anyone else is doing a stream on YouTube. We've got Novabug or Retro Tuner. We'll go with Novabug. So, if we all head over to Novabug's channel, we're going to... Can someone grab me the link? Gernaldinho, you're my man for grabbing me links. Novabug's stream, please. If you could all head over at the end of this fucking stream, go over to Novabug's channel, say this is a stream raid, and Dainster sent you. And no, I haven't stole it from you, Retro Bear, because I'm doing a stream raid, and that's how we roll. So for one last time, YouTube, take it easy.